Hi, I'm Nahtagain, and I'm a variety streamer. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am affiliate streamer. I've been streaming for a little over a year now. My average viewers is about 3 to 4 on average, and I have just over 200 followers as of the other day.
Nice. Did you just hit start stream just because it's like, oh, this is fun, or did you have a plan and you were like, let's do this, let's talk about this plan?
Yeah, I actually started streaming because a friend of mine did at the time. And I thought that was really cool. I was watching him for a little bit, and then I was like, what if I did that?
Yeah.
And then we had a lot of talks about that, him and I, and like going back and forth about like what I could do, or like, you know, things like that. And I didn't even think I would get this far. So it's been a journey.
Yeah. Honestly, like 3 average viewers and like getting up there, like in layman's terms, when like people say like, oh, 3, like they don't think it's that much, but like discoverability on Twitch is like non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to
for
even
sure.
have just those 3 and just like make that affiliate, like that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not as fast as some people think.
Nope. How long did it take you to get affiliate?
I would say almost, it was like 3 months or 4 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I feel like is pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I was still like really excited for it.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, to like get paid to like do this, like that's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you get, because 50 followers is another thing as well too. So you're at 3 average views. How did you get the 3 average views and the 50 followers? Was it in real life friends? Was it just the communities that you made, or like kind of like how'd you get there?
It was a little bit of both, right? Because like I said, I had a real life friend, and he already had followers. So sometimes like I would stream right after him, and he would raid me. So then I would meet his community. And it was always kind of timed out like that. So a lot of the original followers I made were from him, with like a few real life people. But I definitely think that, you know, talking to other streamers, even just like finding people that play games that you like or categories that you're into, like that's a really good start to get some followers, to get some community.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Like the networking, but kind of like the authentic side, not just like...
Yeah, for sure. It's not just like going in one time and never talking to that person again. It's like you consistently go back a few times in a row. You meet the people who are already in their community, you know, and like if... You know, a lot of times like that streamer will give you a shout out, and then it's like people just follow you from that because they're like, that's just like a courtesy thing. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Did you dip down? Do you know the reason for that, or how did you get back up, or have you been just constantly at that 3 the whole time?
I actually had the opposite problem with the dips. I actually had closer to 7 viewers when I was at like a kind of a peak, sort of. And then it's been kind of consistently 3 since then, which is totally fine. I still feel like that's okay with me, you know, and it's people that I know or that are comfortable with, or like mods and things like that. I think that something that brought my numbers up in particular was finding like a niche and something that was really particular to me. When I was in college, so I actually graduated college last May. When I was in college, for my senior project, I did a big project on tarot. So I recreated the major arcana like tarot deck out of my own like photography and photo editing. And so while I was learning tarot, I was doing tarot on stream as well. And that kind of put me in like a really specific category that is like not known to people. And that brought some people in because they were like, I would do like tarot Thursdays. And then I would give tarot readings to people who wanted them. And that was definitely something that like brought my numbers up, and I want to go back to doing that because it like has kind of flattened out since then. But it was really interesting to just see people's reactions to that, and like, you know, they kept coming back for that, definitely, for sure.
Wow, that's such a good idea. So you went through to 7, and you had this really interactive thing going, like tarot card reading. That's something that it's so unique. And then you stopped doing it, and then now you're at that 3.
Yeah, so I definitely think that that was something that brought a lot of people to my
in.
channel for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it was like, you know, every now and then you'd get like strangers and like people that are kind of weird.
Yeah, that's true.
So like weird because they added the tarot category when they added like all those categories to
did
Twitch.
they really? Okay.
Yeah, so it is a category now, but obviously it's a small one.
Yeah.
So it's not like that many people like really go in it. So it's like if people search tarot, my video would come up, like my stream would come up because there was only like 6 or 7 people there tops.
Yeah.
So if that was also some way to like bring like people that I didn't know into.
Interesting. Okay, nice. So what are some successful tips that got you views and followers? So you got the 7, and you got the 200 because that's a lot of followers. How did you get those?
A lot of one of the things that I've really learned just being on Twitch this entire year was just kind of like, besides, like we already mentioned networking, right? I already mentioned like having a niche, having a specific thing. Another big thing that I noticed that got me like views or follows was like games that have big communities, right? So like Animal Crossing for one, but also like I've recently been playing a game called Celeste that I did not. It's an indie game, but it actually has a really specific large community.
Yeah.
And I've made a lot of friends just through that alone. And I think that was really interesting because I wasn't expecting that of like such a small, like a sort of a small game that I hadn't heard of until recently.
Yeah. How do you get people to come back after they've already followed? So they somehow found you one way or another. They hit that follow button. The next day, let's say you're streaming the next day. How do you get them to come back to your streams? Because that's the hardest part.
That is for sure one of the hardest things. And I also think that's what makes it really hard to get 3 average viewers is just to, you know, make people come back after that first time they meet you. I think one thing is definitely just like a common sense thing is just being personable in general, being welcoming, being greeting. I mean, me as a person, I have a tendency to assume the best of people, even if they're not great.
Me
so I always think that someone has, I always feel like someone has good intentions when they first come in. Whether or not they do or not is to be proven later. So that's a big thing for me. Like I'm always super welcoming to people that come in that are new, especially once Twitch added that like, oh, the new viewer thing. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and then I feel like another big thing would probably be just like, you know, other social media for sure. Like, you know, posting on Twitter, my schedule, or like, you know, like the live tweets and everything like that. I think like, you know, finding other ways to get people to find out, because not everyone keeps notifications on for everyone, and I see that. You know what I mean? Like, or people don't always have notifications on for Discord, even if I'm like posting my schedule. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's definitely like having a consistent schedule is one thing, but I think like letting people know, like with a megaphone, letting people know that you're streaming. For sure.
No, yeah, because that's work off of stream. So you're not streaming, you go off stream, like, okay, how can I like promote myself and promote my streams?
Yeah, and I think I'm still very new to TikTok, and I think I've made like 1 Twitch related TikTok ever.
TikTok's hard.
So I want to work on. It's really hard. I mean, I'm not very good at TikTok normally, but I definitely want to do more of that and like hopefully get some people from there to like find me in a different kind of discoverability kind of way.
Totally. Yeah, social media is huge, but it's hard to do all 1,200 of the social media platforms that are out there.
I know. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about big picture plans right now. So what was your big picture or your goal when you made affiliate, and then what is your big picture now?
When I first right before I made affiliate, that was obviously the big goal, right? So, but it was just like, I was mostly excited about the emotes. I was mostly excited about like community challenges, and like, I felt like, you know, building that like would help me just get further in general, obviously. And I think like, even though I'm nowhere near partner, it is still a goal of mine to get that far. Like I said, I have 3 average viewers, and you need 75, and that's insane to me. Like right now, that seems so far away. Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, oh, that seems like, it almost seems like it's out of my reach, but obviously like all these things that we've talked about, all these strategies that we've talked about, all these things that, you know, all these other social medias and all those things, I think that like combining them all at once and like really pushing for them is just going to get me closer to that for sure.
Yeah, so having just like little goals and things just like that are fun, like emotes and like everything. But then also in the back of your mind, it's like you, the partner, looking pretty appetizing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much for coming on. This was fantastic.
Of
You're
course.
amazing. I love your vibes, honestly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I can't wait to check out your streams. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.